Since 2004, when a federal law called HIPAA went into effect, there have been thousands of cases where individuals' health information has been inappropriately shared, lost, or stolen. The penalties are severe, and none of us want our personal health information shared inappropriately.
Hi, Alan. How are you today?
Oh, good.
Good, good. I think what we're going to do today is increase your Prozac. This way, I think it's going to make you a little less angry and a little less depressed. So if you just want to come to me in the office, we could talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
What you just witnessed is an obvious violation of the privacy rights surrounding an individual's healthcare information. All of us working in the healthcare field have additional responsibilities for protecting the rights of those individuals due to implementation of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, also known as HIPAA. More about that later in the video, but first, let's watch a few more scenarios.
So where should we go to lunch? What do you think, huh? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Boy, did you hear about that Jackie Brown today? That girl's got some serious mental problems.
I know she's psychotic. You know she's on medication, right?
Yeah, really.
Joan, you have a phone call.
Oh, thank you.
Wait a minute. Wow, this is the same person who plays with my kids. Man, he has got some serious problems. I don't think I'm going to let them play together anymore.
Regina, I think this fax is for you. It says something about Jack Smith. I think he has a sexually transmitted disease.
Just leave it there and I'll pick it up in a minute.
Okay.
So this is one of our day habilitation classrooms. We run groups in here. I think there's a horticultural group going on at the moment. You know, the plants and things.
Whoa. Check this out. It says here it takes 2 people to restrain this guy. He must have some serious problems.
I don't think that should be on display, actually.
Oh, really?
In each of the previous incidents, important and confidential health information was disclosed to people who had no reason to know this information. Under the federal law called HIPAA, this information is designated as Protected Health Information, or PHI, and except in very limited cases, disclosure of it without the consumer's approval to individuals who are not involved with treatment, billing, or program operations is strictly forbidden. We all value our privacy. In addition to protecting the confidential information of the consumers we serve, HIPAA also protects the privacy rights of you and your family. Protected health information consists of information that identifies an individual and relates to the provision of care, indicates the individual's health condition, or pertains to payment for health services. In fact, almost all of the information you know about your consumers would be considered PHI. This protected information includes the consumer's name, address, and phone number, Medicaid, Medicare, or other insurance information, diagnosis, treatment or services received, and anything else that can identify the consumer or patient. Almost all of us need to know some or all of this information to provide quality services to our consumers, to effectively bill for these services, and to ensure that the quality of services is up to our standards of excellence. HIPAA applies to healthcare providers, health plans, and healthcare billing services. It also applies to business associates who provide services on behalf of covered entities and have access to individuals' information. Business associates must comply with privacy and security rules and report security breaches to the covered entity. And these HIPAA requirements must be included in the covered entity's contract with business associates. Examples of business associates include transportation companies, billing companies, electronic health record software vendors, and staffing agencies. HIPAA allows us to do this, and each patient and consumer will receive a privacy statement that outlines how PHI can be used for these purposes. This notice includes the individual's right to view their medical or treatment records, request changes to records, choose who can or cannot receive their health information, receive an accounting of their PHI disclosures for the past 6 years, and file a complaint with the privacy officer and the federal government if so desired. Oftentimes, you might be asked by fellow employees or outside agencies about a specific consumer or patient. You can share this information for professional purposes without consent if it is necessary to treat the consumer or if it is necessary for payment or program oversight and operations.
Hey, Raul. Hi, this is Jeff from Manhattan Dayhab. Yeah, I'm calling about Barbara. She seems very tired today. She seems to be lethargic. She didn't want to go out with the group today, and then she fell asleep during lunch. I was wondering, are there any changes in her medication or anything that I should be aware of?
Yes, there has. Her medication actually increased a bit, so it's going to take her about a week to adjust to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
She's going to be like that for a good week.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep my eyes out for that. Great, thanks. Bye.
In this situation, it would be acceptable to share the consumer information because it is part of the consumer's treatment. Is the person in this next scene sharing information appropriately?
Delia,
Yeah?
I know this is a big file, but I just got it from the clinic, and it was a rejection that we got. I need you to call the insurance company for me.
Okay.
This is a copy of a file. They are requesting additional information, but we have to send them very specific information. So call them for me now, pull out what they need, and it's got to be mailed as soon as possible. All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Look at all this paperwork. This is ridiculous. I'm not sending this. Actually, I am. I'm going to send it, and they can pick and choose whatever they want. I don't have time to sit on the phone calling these people.
If information is being shared for non-treatment reasons, like billing or quality oversight, you should be giving out the minimum necessary information for this purpose. The person in this last scene should have sent out only the information required rather than the entire consumer file. Under other circumstances, it may be necessary to obtain a release from the consumer before disclosing information and to explain to the consumer how this information will be used.
Berta, I know you want to attend the recreation program, but they need certain information before you can do it.
The privacy officer or other appropriate staff person should explain the details of the consent form to the consumer before asking her to sign it.
Could you sign this, please? Thank you.
You're welcome.
When someone asks to see consumer or patient information and it is not for treatment, payment, or operations, stop and think. Talk to your supervisor if you have questions. If additional information is needed, speak to your agency's privacy officer who can clarify what to do if in doubt. If the consumer's authorization is necessary, use your standard consent form, which contains all of the information required by HIPAA. For the purposes of marketing, fundraising, advertising, etc., HIPAA prohibits the sale or sharing of PHI without the individual's authorization. Many times, we disclose PHI without even realizing it. By taking some basic precautions, you can prevent this from happening. Do not fax PHI unless you are certain that the fax number is correct and that the receiving machine is in a secure area. If the machine is not in a secure area, make sure that the person is there to receive the fax.
Hello, Jane. I have a confidential document that I need to send to you. I just wanted to check your fax number. Okay, I have it. Would you be at the fax for the next 5 minutes? Great. I'm going to be sending it to you right now. Thanks a lot, Jane.
With today's technology, there are many ways that PHI can be disclosed inadvertently through electronic means. HIPAA also requires that we protect this electronic data. The security officer has the responsibility of overseeing this process. Sending emails which include individuals' information in the body of the email or as an attachment can result in a HIPAA breach. You should follow your organization's protocol and procedures regarding emails. Do not share your computer password with anyone, including family members and coworkers.
Hi, Ava.
Hi, Donna.
Wow. I was just coming over to see if I could possibly use your computer while you were at lunch and, get on with your password if I could.
No, I really can't do that because with the new privacy laws, I'm not allowed to.
Really?
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you leave your computer, close any applications that might be used to gain access to PHI. When leaving your workstation, even for a short period of time, be sure to use a password-protected screensaver that prevents any unauthorized person from viewing PHI on your computer. You should follow your IT department's protocol for maximum password protection. Remember to never share your password with anyone. Flash drives, CDs, DVDs, and other portable storage devices can be easily lost and result in HIPAA violations and are not to be used to store PHI. Lost or stolen laptops, notebooks, tablets, and smartphones have also been responsible for many HIPAA violations. If you need to use these devices, you should get permission from your organization and follow their security protocol. Make sure, when there is a period of inactivity on your electronic device, that it requires the re-entering of your password. Computers, fax machines, copiers, and printers have the ability to store PHI in their device memories. If you are disposing of this type of equipment, contact the IT department to ensure safe disposal. At the end of each workday, clean your desk of papers and files containing PHI and store them in locked desks or file cabinets. When confidential documents are no longer needed, they should be destroyed rather than placed in the trash. Many of us use social media sites as a means of communication. You may not disclose or print any images, names, treatments, or other identifying PHI related to the individuals we serve or their families on these social media sites. Many modern electronic devices have the ability to take photographs and to share these photographs. HIPAA forbids the sharing of these photos without proper consents. Think about it. Don't you want your private information protected? Most of us would say yes. And it's the same for the individuals for whom we provide services. Under the new high-tech law, a HIPAA breach is a very serious offense. A breach occurs when an individual's PHI is accessed, acquired, used, or disclosed inappropriately. Previous scenarios have provided examples of these possible breaches. If a breach is suspected, it must be reported immediately to the privacy officer, the security officer, and your supervisor. When a breach occurs, the organization must notify all individuals affected by the breach. If more than 500 individuals are affected by the breach, the organization must notify the federal government. There are significant civil penalties for breaches of HIPAA. In addition to consequences for the agency, an individual can also be held personally and financially responsible for a HIPAA breach. Disciplinary action can also be taken against employees responsible for violations. Your privacy officer is the individual responsible for making sure that everyone complies with HIPAA, that information is disclosed only in an appropriate way, and that disclosures are accounted for. For all HIPAA-related questions or to report a breach, please contact your organization's privacy officer or security officer. Now that you have this information about HIPAA, let's go back and look at some of the scenarios we saw at the beginning of this video and see how they should be handled under this law.
Hi, Alan. How are you today?
Hi, good.
Come on in.
Thanks.
I know that that's a confidential fax you're sending, so I'll stand here and wait for it, okay? Thanks.
Remember, under HIPAA, it will be up to all of us to help protect confidential information of the consumers we serve. Here are some additional considerations to keep in mind regarding consumer privacy. You should become familiar with your particular agency's policies and procedures regarding privacy protection for your consumers. Staff members may disclose PHI to certain individuals who are legally entitled to act on behalf of consumers. Laws defining access by these individuals may vary from state to state. For more information, speak to your supervisor or privacy officer. When your state laws and regulations regarding consumer privacy are more restrictive than HIPAA standards, the state regulations will usually prevail. HIPAA is federal legislation which should be taken seriously by all of us. There are civil and criminal penalties for any violations of the law. For additional information regarding the HIPAA implementation process, contact the following resources.